Hello everyone, welcome to Just Academy. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about light linking in our Gaffer 3 node. So in this case, I have a simple scene here. I have a dragon object and I have character facing each other, and I have a simple HDRI light here. So I have only one light. Here is the render output for that. So what I'm going to do is I want to create two different lights for two different characters, and I want that those lights to be affected that particular object, not the other object. So I'm going to use the light linking for that. In production, most of the times we won't use light linking because sometimes it produces physically inaccurate results that can be easily looking fake kind of. So most of the times we avoid using light linking, but sometimes it really helps us to art direct our scene. So yeah, in this case I'm going to create a PXR disk light. So instead of create here, so I have this edit material option is turned on, and so yeah, I have this Gaffer 319. So now all I want to do is I will place my camera accordingly, and yeah, let's create a disk light on my camera angle. So as you can see here, cool. So it's just working fine. So I'm going to press T and place it something like this, and yeah, the normal, I'm going to place the light according to our normal. So in this case I'm going to solo the lights and relaunch IPR to see it in the render. So yeah, so we need to increase the exposure to see it. Okay, so maybe I want this to work like a backlight, even more like a rim light. It's a bit of a tedious process. Yeah, I think this will work fine. So yeah, now let's scale the light to get some soft lighting and reduce the exposure. Okay, so I'm happy with the results. So now I'm going to actually do the light linking. So in this case, I don't want the light to be affect other objects like ground or the character here. So in this case, okay, the character is fine. We have some cool looking rim light that will work fine for us. So in this case, we don't want the shadow and we don't want the ground to be affected by our lights. So in order to do that, basically, so you need to first mention what is the initial state. In this case, let's say if you have a huge scene and if you want your light to be affect only one object or two objects in the scene, basically you need to make this off to all objects. Basically this is the default for other objects. So if it's turned on, so it will be on all objects. So if it is off, so it will be off for all the objects in the scene. So basically these are the overrides. So this is the default state of our light linking. So in this case we want everything to be affected because we want we have three different objects in the scene. We want most of the objects to be turned on, which means our character and our dragon. We want only exclude our ground. So in this case, so we want the initial state to on, and I'm going to connect our ground here. So as you can see here, so now our shadow, our ground is not affected by our light now. So let's say if you don't want your lights to be turned off completely, you just want the shadow to be affected. So in this case, you can do the same for shadow linking. So let's turn this on and just turn off the shadow for the ground. Okay, so basically it works different ways. So you need to connect your dragon object that is causing the shadow. So yeah, it works this way. So if I turn off the solo, so as I already told you, so this is what I mentioned. So this is physically inaccurate and you can easily find it. This is not true. This is not real. So this looks fake. So I just did this only for explaining it. So yeah, let's turn this off. Yeah, so we can keep this as it is. So now if I enable it, now you can see here we have our rim light works fine for our dragon and our character. So in this case, I'm just going to place my camera for our character. I'm going to create another light like this. Yeah, maybe instead of creating a new light, maybe we can use the existing light and duplicate it. So we have duplicate the light and connect it, place it like this. Solo this. Yeah, I think this will work fine. So, but now I don't want our dragon to be visible in our light. So I just want to turn off on all. Basically, I don't want the ground also to be affected by my light. So I want this to be turned off initially. And let's remove this from here, and I'm going to just connect our character into the on. So now if I disable the solo, now you can see here, so the brightness, the exposure is a lot high. I think maybe we can reduce this and keep it subtle. Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah, I think this is fine. This works really well. So yeah, so that's it for this tutorial, and thanks for watching.